I spoke with former NFL player and ESPN analyst Merril Hoge, who grew up in Pocatello, for an exclusive one-on-one interview. Merril Hoge grew up in Pocatello and went to school all the way from kindergarten to college in his hometown and played football for Idaho State University before being drafted in the 10th round in 1987 by the Pittsburgh Steelers, who he says was his favorite team as a kid.
So to get drafted by them was there was a lot of emotions in that one, simply because my mom had passed away the year before, and so she technically wasn't there, but then my favorite team drafts me, and I end up playing for a team that I idolized, from the coaches to the players to eventually even the ownership, and still to this day, big fan.
He played for Pittsburgh Steelers for 7 years and then signed a 3-year deal as a free agent to go to the Chicago Bears. Merril says he only ended up playing there for a year because his career ended prematurely due to an error of a concussion he had.
So I got to play for my two favorite teams as a kid, and all the players that I used to watch on television, I got to know, became friends with, and learned so much from them that I still apply to my life today.
Merril says growing up here in the Gate City as a kid, he always dreamed of going to the Super Bowl.
And the only reason I wanted to play in the NFL, the only reason I used to wear pajamas as a kid in Pocatello, Idaho, and jump over the couch pretending I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler or a Chicago Bear or Walter Payton or Franco Harris, was to be introduced on Sunday, on Super Bowl Sunday, and win the Super Bowl. That's the only thing I thought about.
Merril says he will never forget the first game he played as an NFL player against the San Francisco 49ers.
They went 15-1. They only lost one game, and it was the game that we played, and we beat them. And I had probably the most critical play in that game to help us win.
After his career on the field ended, he became an NFL analyst at ESPN. Merril says one of the greatest privileges of his career after football was the opportunity to broadcast during the NFL season. It gave him a whole new lens and a front row seat to the game he loves.
I never thought of broadcasting. In fact, I used to hate to get up in front of speaking people, let alone talk in front of a camera.
Merril says the transition from the NFL to the ESPN studio was one of the biggest leaps of his career and one of the most rewarding.
I'd never been into a studio before. I'd never seen a studio. And the second I opened the door and I saw all of the desks and the cameras and the microphones and the setup, I'm like, I love this. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And that's what got me into broadcasting.
Years later, Merril was diagnosed with cancer. He says the reality of that, the fear of that, and the consequences of that at that time was the most overwhelming thing he has ever had to deal with in his life. And it was in that darkness that he came up with a saying, find a way. He says those words gave him hope, and they challenged him to do something about his circumstance, and says at the end of the day, that is a responsibility we all have.
Everybody's dealing with something. They got something, and it's, how do they decide to go about handling it? It's all on. It's their choice. You're responsible for your journey. I'm responsible for mine.
Merril did find a way, and now he is a motivational speaker with a message.
It was in my quest. When the words "find a way" popped in my head, I talked to you about the day that happened to me, and I remember I was revisiting all the things people had said to me. Every time I told people I was going to play in the National Football League, one of 4 things was said to me right away. Oh my gosh, how hard that is. Due to the odds of you playing in the National Football League. Oh, son, don't put all your eggs in one basket. We want you to be disappointed. Or, oh, man, that's impossible. That's all I'd ever hear, right? That's actually why I see things through a child's eyes more than most adults, because the people who were supposed to encourage me were the first ones to discourage me. But it was my first taste of resiliency. And that's when the words "find a way" popped in my head, because it was like, well, I got to do something, and then they're like, well, find a way to do something. Okay, so it inspired me to take action.
Merril says there is no doubt that his journey has taken him places and arenas that he didn't even think existed.
How it's taken me across all these landscapes and all these relationships and great friends and people that I've met on the journey, those things make me happy. Like, it's really those things that I'm grateful to be alive and experience those things every day, and get to enjoy that is something that I have always treasured and will always treasure.
Reporting in Pocatello, I'm Deanne Coffin, KPVI, news that works for you.